Hello, hello. Put my glasses on to better to see with. Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I don't think there's anybody quite here yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and just talk. I want to share my Halloween. Spooky season is here. It's Summerween. I'm calling it. It's spooky season. It's spooky season until November 2nd in my household. It is now time for Halloween. It is Summerween. Summerween is into effect for me. But anyway, hi, I'm Mika. Welcome to Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And we are going to talk about some random things. I'm going to give a little bit of a review on a Oracle deck that I got as well. And yeah, it's going to be a fun day. So I'm going to do myself a solid and I'm going to disable the sounds on my phone because someone typically calls me literally every time. So I'm going to do that now. Speaking of phone calls, so this morning, now my phone is not an Arizona number that I got this call on. So this morning I got a phone call and someone called asking, they left a voicemail. I didn't answer the phone because it was early in the morning. So the phone number I have on that phone is it's on the East Coast. It's my old Florida number, right? So let me turn it up and turn up the volume on that. I feel like I'm low. Anyway, so phone rings. I'm like, it woke me up, but I didn't answer. I forgot to put my phone on vibrate last night. Long story short, I finally get around to checking my voicemail. I'm seeing a phone number, and I was like, it was a 954 number. So that's like South Florida. But I just saw 9 and a 4 because I was, just moving about my day. And I'm like, oh, that's probably my sister. And that's 904. Anyway, long story short, I listened to this voicemail and I was like, why did it come up like that? I was like, what? And I'm listening, and the voicemail is saying, hey, sound like a woman, a little raspy sounding. And she said, hey, whatever the person's name was, I'm going to come across the street and put your gun away for you. What? I'm going to come across the street and put the gun away for you was the message. What have I gotten myself into? What has my phone number gotten me into? What am I involved in unwillingly and not realizing what have I involved myself into? Because I always put it back on me like, what have I done? What have I done to a misstyle yet? But like, why? Anyway, and I on my voicemail, I don't say my name. It's just goes straight to voicemail. I do that for a reason because people, we live in weird times and people do weird things. So I don't, you know, yeah, that's why. Anyway, so that's how I started my day on just weirdness. But let's just be honest. It's been a weird week from last weekend to now. Y'all, it's just been the most bizarre events occurring. Now, last week, my heart was heavy um, because we lost Prue from Charm, Shannon Doherty. We lost her, and my heart hurt for her because I actually admired her. Once I got older and I understood more about her life and her story and how she was blackballed and, just all the negativity that was artificially put around her from back when she played Brenda. Like, I understand that there was just a smear campaign against her because it was fun to hate. And then it turned into, she wouldn't, put out in the way that those producers and exec wanted her to, and read into that what you will. But anyway, and then her co-stars were trash, and some of them did. We won't, y'all peep her story. My point is, she still continued, and she still fought the good fight, and she was I think a decent person, decent human. And the world, will miss her. And she was young. She was only in her, what? I think she was only in her early 50s. And I didn't want her to die. And listening to an interview where she, pretty much said she didn't want to die. I mean, I'd be saying the same thing. It's like, I don't want to, I would like to continue to live a little bit more, but here we are. So, may she rest in paradise. Um, so that's how I thought that was enough. And then the RNC just continued to take me out of my mind. The fact that Grinder called that event their Super Bowl, Hulk Hogan, uh, Amber Rose, um, Trump, like Biden with the COVID. Like I don't know where to. Richard Simmons dying. May he rest in paradise. I thought Dr. Ruth had already passed away. The kids are saying we jumped timelines. I, somebody I know has been denying their ability, the fact that they are a witch, and they were forced into it in the most weirdest of ways. Um, Several people I know have just, someone who's kind of been down on, I wouldn't say down on love, that's not the right word, very cynical at this stage. They said they were open, but if you didn't know them, you would think they were very cynical about love. It's like a schoolgirl again. Like it's what's up is down, what's down is up. It just feels bizarre, but I welcome um all the crazy a little bit, within reason. So I figured and there's some other serious stuff going on, as well. Uh, it's been declared, what is happening in Gaza, or what has been happening, um, has been declared a apartheid situation. I mean, they're saying it, internationally speaking. So there are other countries, you have to treat it kind of like how South Africa was treated with apartheid, if you recall. Um, so yeah, that's happened. Our country is not at all, supporting the international um, decision on that. But anyway, yeah. So there's that, and just a host of other things that are just going on, and it doesn't just feel like New York. There was a situation sometime this week where they said that it was a meteor or something that came through. Uh, 8.5 earthquake, I think, someplace Spain. Correct me if I'm wrong. Things always happen. The earth is big, so there's always something happening. We all know that. It was just in a small period of time that these things are happening. Um, Personal things for me to just like, and then I talked about this with my coven, looking at the transits. We're coming up on full moon energy, and I'm like, okay, I got it. But I just feel like, you ever okay, if you're into astrology even a little bit, you just read your horoscope. That's it. Let's say you look ahead and you read your horoscope. You never fully expect me as someone, because I believe that magic is almost always more subtle, and it can have a big impact. But for the most part, to me, magic is very subtle. It's the whispers, it's the little things that seem to, all of a sudden, you thought it was coincidence, that things just seem to come together. That's been a lot of my experience with magic, and even helping other people live a magical lifestyle. So imagine me this week, like, well, this just feels like this feels like a movie. Like, it just feels like one just weird event happened. And before I could get over the first event, there's another one. My point is, did we jump timelines again? That's what they're saying. I feel like we're really feeling the astrological events in a more direct way than I think in my history, my history of understanding astrology than I've ever experienced before. So, the next time you sit down, anytime coming up, and I'm going to tell y'all now, we're coming up next month. Mercury is going retrograde. And at the way things are going, I'm very curious. I just feel like we're in an upside down type situation. Um, if you So like the opposite. So if you've been feeling one way, I feel like a lot of people are experiencing a shift in the complete opposite direction. So here's the good thing. For some of us who've kind of been indifferent, neutral, just kind of just living our lives, not really, feeling very strongly in either direction or feeling too much of anything. I know I've been going through that. On the flip, because I like to try to find a bright side, and I'm always going to do some mental alchemy. Guess what? For some of us, it can go either way with us. And I think that we're not just floating about into, in the world where, our energies just go wherever the wind blows. It's more like we can direct it. So I know last night I did a ritual, which I haven't done this type of ritual to the extent that I did it in a it's been a couple months, I'll be honest with you, that I sat down by myself, not coven, because I'll do stuff with my coven, to the extent like I cast a circle, all that sort of stuff. I had a lot of stuff out. It was more ceremonial. Um, I felt like going all in, which has been the opposite of how I've been feeling. And so it's more of intentionally controlled situation. Like I'm making my energy go in a certain direction because I feel like it's up for grabs right now, and I don't want to just be victim to wherever the wind takes me. So I'm being intentional. So I'm using this full moon, or I have been using this full moon as of last night, to call in the energy and attract a certain vibration to me and to exhibit a certain vibration, which leads me to, since up is down and down is up, why not just let it be spooky season going forward? Why am I waiting? Who's to say we are dealing with a continued situation of unprecedented times? Like, how many times are we going to live through another unprecedented time? So here's the thing: do the thing. If it's Christmas for you, put up the daggone tree. Christmas in July, put the tree up. Put the tree up. If it's Halloween like me, put up the Halloween decorations. Where if you were saying, I was really wanting to change my hair, change your hair color. Go ahead. I do black, just because I'm not ready to meet those grays, and I like black. I like the way it looks on my brown skin. So, but yeah, change your hair color. I will be changing my hair color, but more about that soon in this conversation. But yeah, I am introducing spooky season. So I put on my spooky season shirt, and I have on like jeans, like it's not 110 degrees as a high today. I'm wearing my Halloween earrings. I did a summerween makeup look. I did a little wing. I have hooded eyes. Wings are the bane of my existence. I said, we're going to just do it. I'm wearing my Japanese, yeah, I went to a Japanese store in their whole makeup section, and they have like, it's like this velvet finish. So it kind of looks like a natural finish. I like it. I'm wearing my like a lot of, what is this? I don't know what they call it. It's like a cream blush or something. I said I wanted to do that. I wanted to do summerween. So like the black hair, the makeup, the jewelry. I didn't do my nails yet, but outside of that, like I'm there. I'm just embracing it. Who's gonna stop me? Why not? I want to do the weird things, all the weird things that I find fun. Um, yeah, I feel like if you take nothing from the weird events, do something, do stuff. Like I know today, and I'm really thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out. It's 42 minutes away from my house. That was my issue, but there is going to be a like a pop-up K-pop thing since ATEEZ, which is a group, a K-pop group, coming to Arizona, which I'll be at that concert. I probably won't have voice. My intention is to go live next Friday. The concert is Thursday night. We will see how that goes. I am so excited. I have not watched anybody. They performed in San Francisco, I think in a couple days ago. I don't like to watch footage. I don't want to know what everybody else is like. You can tell me, but I don't want to see it because I want it to be all for me. My outfit is pretty much together. The hair, and I'll be doing some makeup looks and accessories and whatever. But yeah, yeah, that's happening. So I'm doing the things, but there's gonna be like there gonna be some like you know, merch and stuff like that, photo cards, all that sort of stuff. I would be going to this by myself. Normally, that's something I would do with my daughter. But if I go, and it's like till I think it's 8 p.m. to 12 or something. So it's late tonight. So it's like 40 minutes. I'm not really a night driver per se. That's why it would be mostly highway driving. So that's not so bad. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. Um, I mean, I don't care about going by myself because I would be like tunnel vision when I got there looking at all the stuff trying to buy it. So, like, honestly, I wouldn't even see the other people because when I'm shopping, it's all about what I want and what I see. So I could care less. Let me get this lighting situation. Anyway, so I wouldn't be hyper focused on people or things like that. But yeah, I might do that tonight. I'm on the fence. It's the 40-minute drive for me. I don't know if I want to be in a car. Like, it's okay, going there, I'll be excited. But coming back 42 minutes on the road, at night, I don't know. That's taxing. So I'll see. But other than that, I'm doing the stuff. I'm in it. Um, so with that being said, I'm going to share a little bit about me. And I've talked about K-pop. I've talked about, if you watch any of the planning videos that I did, I'll have like idols kind of mixed in the planners. I had a friend say to me one time, they were joking, but not, and they were like, well, you're not gonna like, there's not like a huge population of Korean, like Asian men or something where you are. So, like, okay, maybe that's not what, like, assuming they were making a connection, it was like a part of a conversation, but I realized they had formed a connection that because I am a K pop fan, I'm looking for men. Like, I'm fetishizing. Why am I struggling with this word? Korean men or just Asian men or something. Like, I'm looking for that in my real life. And this is how I know people are not like really in the books. And I know you're thinking, what the hell is she talking about? Because those who read like spicy romance novels, rom-coms, if you're one of those type of girlies, there are men you read about in a book, or people you're attracted to in a book, and it's all fantasy. In no real way do you want that person standing in front of you, like a real representation of that person, because it's yeah. Anyway, you don't, but it's the fantasy of it, right? I'm not even that far into it with these K-pop idols. I genuinely enjoy the music. I am not, it's not like a male review for me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not, in the same way a woman, like women go to see a male review, like male strippers or something like that. Like, that's not what this is for me. This is, I truly have value in the music. I look up lyrics. If it's not in English, I want to understand. I watch, and and that's okay that people don't know, but to make that leap that I basically it's only about a sexual attraction thing. Um, no, I'm a deeper person than that. Like, no, there's more to it than that. But anyway, so I like their music. I love the dancing. There is a show element that is missing from a lot of American artists. I'd say outside of currently Beyonce, who puts on a phenomenal package. But unlike Beyonce, when I have these K-pop idols that I follow, they don't make you wait to for another comeback or another release. There's like a release here, a release here. Then they're on YouTube and they're doing like these variety shows, and you get personalities behind it, and you get to see how they interact. And sometimes they'll take you to see family, and there is a parasocial relationship that is not only formed but honed. Like they nurture it, and us as fans, you start to feel like protective over these people. You start to look forward there when they win awards and when their numbers go up. You feel a connection to it. Now, if you've ever had been a fan of someone, especially as a younger person, um, you understand what that's like. And I like when I'm excited about these things. I like how I feel when a new release comes out and I enjoy the music and I get to see all the production, the videos, the behind the scenes interviews. And, I like the fandom. I like the other fans reposting, doing edits, and all that sort of stuff. That is so fun for me, and it feels like a club that we're all in. We all know we are crazy delusional, and it is just fun knowing it and then being a part of it. And there's a bunch of people in my age range as well, so we like a subset of the fandom, and I love that. So I say all this to say I'm going to share something with y'all. So this is the advantage to be a grown person and having grown up money, because you get to do stuff like this. This, if you have no idea what's going on, this is currency. Okay. This is currency. What I got in front of you right now is currency. This is where others could never, they could never, they could never, they could never. This is currency. So, Stray Kids just came out with their latest release, or comeback, as they would call it. And these are their three albums. I woke up at an obscene time to go to the store to purchase them, to be there as soon as the store opened, because I didn't want them to be sold out. And they would have been, because it wasn't that many on the shelf to begin with. So I got there early. I had been up pretty late, uh, just consuming the music, listening to the albums. I wasn't alone. It was me, um, my daughter, and other people online and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah. So I was able to do that, and that was so exciting to me. That was Thursday night going, and then Friday early morning went and got the albums, and I know there's some stuff coming in the mail as well. But how this helps me, as a witch specifically, I wouldn't even say help, is that because I listen to the lyrics, because I hear what it's saying, it's not about, oh, there's some hidden spells in there. No, it is how music makes me feel. So last night during my ritual, I put on my 5 hour K-pop playlist. I wasn't in ritual for 5 hours, but I just, I put it on shuffle, and and I will tell you, I feel like spirit, it was on shuffle, yes, but I feel like there were certain points that certain songs played that matched the things that were happening within the ritual, the messages I was receiving. And that is awesome when that happens. So try that if you have a playlist or something. Next time you're like doing spell work or ritual, put on that playlist and see what happens. See if what's playing kind of vibes with what you're doing, and marvel in it. So what I would do, and I was kind of working on this probably for almost, I wouldn't say over an hour, probably almost 2 hours. And I was just like, I was on the floor because I wanted to be grounded. And I'm like pulling cards. I'm waiting for messages. I'm doing like mirror work. There's some candle stuff. It's burning of herbs. Um, breathing. I was there was a lot of different things. I did some cleansing of tools and all that, so it was a very long ritual for me, very enjoyable. So I had an opportunity to let that playlist go, including the new music that came out. Hi, Jezebel Vontex. Hey, thanks for joining. But yeah, I love the excitement I get from that. And this is so important for me because I am not a young lady. I am getting to be an older woman and I'm perimenopausal, and hormones. Let me tell you, I've talked about this. I cannot express this enough. To be a woman, we all will get here. So if you're not there yet, that's cool. I wasn't either. Honestly, I really didn't care too much about this because it didn't affect me. But one day it will. You will just, and this is a 10-year span, by the way, about 10 years of going through this. For most women, they will experience this where it's not about just hot flashes. There is something hormonally that affects your personality. It affects kind of just how you feel in your neutral state. And no one talks about that enough. So I have just been feeling like just really disconnected from things that have brought me joy. All of my planners, the paper crafting. If you notice, and I've sort of been intentional about just taking a break because it's summer anyway. And you're doing, me, I'm doing stuff, so I can't always keep up with my normal posting schedule, and that's okay. I feel like that's fine. Um, but also just an overall disconnect of just like the normal things that make me me. And that is not a great feeling. And it's one thing to be aware of something and not be able to fix it. Like I can't make myself enjoy something. Books, like basically everything I like, like even movies and TV shows, certain topics. Like it's not. I don't feel angry or annoyed. I just feel like, oh, like it's just an indifference. So to have the excitement I felt Thursday night, want to come back to the point that it jolted feelings in me of excitement and happy and fun. I needed that so bad. So that's why I am a fan. Certain artists, certain groups, really I get really excited about. Stray Kids, ATs, NCT 127, Wavy, um, probably the whole NCT like unit. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about these, just the name of groups. Um, the thing about the music that I listen to is that I get to go on a ride. It's not because people hear K-pop and they literally think I mean pop music. That is possible. Some of it is. I love a lot of different genres of music. I like country, definitely hip hop. I like rock. I love rock. I'm Gen X. Like I really love uh, you know, metal and alternative, what we called alternative at the time. That is something, I connect to. I like jazzy blues as well. Yeah, I like all kinds of genres. I don't listen to just one type of music. So the K-pop title, don't let that fool you. There are certain different sounds and genres within that, under that umbrella. So the group I'm gonna go see in concert, for instance, they lean to like cyberpunk and rock, and that's what I'm gonna lose my voice on one particular song. But anyway, because I'm gonna be screaming at the top of my lungs and I know it. But yeah, that hearing that like during a ritual or during spell work, that just brings up the energy in me, and I love that for me. Hearing that music and just being able to just kind of immerse myself has been so helpful to me where I'm at right now, which ultimately helps me with my witchcraft, which helps me in my spiritual business because I'm getting me back. I'm still because it feels like parts of you have just sort of it's drifting and they're kind of right there, and you just don't have the energy or the care to kind of pull these pieces back in, and you feel whole again. That's what it feels like as a perimenopausal person sometimes. And the worst thing about it is I don't always feel like this. It's a crazy wave. I'll feel like this for weeks at a time, and then I'm back to me, and then I'm not. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Oh, you are live, live. I thought it was a premiere. Yeah, I'm live, live. Some days I'm worse than when I was a teenager with so much hormonal flux. Yes, it's like, ah, like who am I going to be today? But I'm still me. But it's like the best way I can explain is like the parts of me just feels like they like puzzle pieces, and they somebody broke up the pieces, and I'm like, hey, I'm just like not all together, and I want to put it all back. But I don't think it can all be back. I think some of the pieces just are never going to fit again, because I'm just going to transition into this newer version of myself. And that's scary on the surface. But, you know, my grandmother, who was 89 years old, went through this, and she got through to the other side. Hey, Jim Stone, she got through to the other side. My mother went through this. She got to the other side. And I had a cousin, and she's like my mom's first cousin. So she's like 71, I think, now. And she came to visit about 2 summers ago. And she said, hey, listen, we were talking about a lot of different things. And she brought this up. She said, you will be forever changed. Now, it did sound ominous the way she said it. After menopause, she said, you will be forever changed. You won't be the same person. And I know more. I've talked to other women who are currently in my predicament and so forth, and women who are witches, because that's an interesting take on it, and how it affects your magic, how it affects the idea of spirituality. I am probably, as of last night, definitely, I am more in my kind of badass witch phase. Like, I'm up for, I guess, I mean, I haven't not been up for it, but I'm probably more into my phase, the phase of that at this stage of my life now, because I know what it's like to go through the consequences of certain actions, and I kind of just weigh out risk reward in a different way now. So I'm kind of like, and I also know what to do to protect myself better. So I kind of just put stuff out there and do certain things, and I just don't care, because I have this general feeling of apathy. I don't have a lot of like concern about what might happen. I'll figure it out on the back end. Cast the spell, make it happen. That's where I'm at now. But being a fan on this level and in this genre has definitely, it keeps that part of my. I wouldn't even say keeps. It just awakens different parts of myself that I feel like has been dormant. And I love the outfits. I love fashion. I love the idea of fashion, but not like high fashion. And I mean, some of that's nice, but like, I'm not a fashion girly like that. But I like when people put together certain things. Like, prime example, like, just look at the cover. Ooh, as my inclusions come out, look at the cover of this. Like, the different outfits. And I like gender bender. I don't like when I don't have these ideas of definitive masculinity, femininity. Put your skirt on and walk, sir. Go ahead. Do what you want. Beat your face. And first of all, I get a lot of makeup ideas from some of these men, but I love all that sort of stuff. That's interesting to me. And I don't look at it like they're circus freaks. It's more like inspiring. Um, yeah, I like the different hair colors because I change my hair a lot, my colors of my hair. So I like all that sort of stuff. The dancing, I love dancing. Remember that show, So You Think You Can Dance? It was like a reality show competition dance thing. Dancing with the Stars. I used to watch that way in the beginning. But I like dance. I like competitive dance shows in a way. And I don't even have to be aware of the type of dance, ballroom dancing, all that sort of stuff. Like, I like stuff like that. I'll sit there and watch it. I enjoy it. When TikTok back in 2020, when everybody had like the different dance challenges, they still do now, but you know what I mean. Like, those were the videos. That's what brought me in more so than the serious dialogue and everything else. I like watching that sort of stuff. So of course it makes these guys are putting their heart and soul into their dance, and women into their dance, and I like that. I like to see that. I like how they transform from different music, let alone different albums. And then the voices, there's so many different voices. And a lot of the idols, a good amount of the idols, if you ask them who they like, it's almost always like an R&B artist from my day. Like, oh, it's like, oh, do you like Music Soul Child? They'd be like, yeah, I love him. D'Angelo, like those are their inspirations. These guys who I loved as well. So yeah, I just wanted to. I said this is a Witchy review in chat, so this is the chat portion. I like how it makes me feel, and I'm kind of just sharing all of this because I know if I didn't have this, I do worry what would become of me at this stage. Um, I do. I would be very worried, and I can see some of my peers not fare so well. I think I would be a little. I would feel very adrift, and I don't like feeling adrift. I'm not very comfortable with that. The only emotion, if I'm totally being honest, that I'm outside of just normal happy go lucky, I like being happy. But if I can't be that, I'd rather be angry and enraged because I know what to do with that. That is definitely the fire sign in me. I know where to go with that. I can handle that. Because for me, anger is not something that eats away at me because I let it out. Because I'm very much a Aries person. So I don't even know how to eat anger and just let it fester. It's coming out. It's coming out. And it feels so satisfying when it does. So if I can't be happy, I can't be neutral, I pick anger any other day. It's not that I enjoy being angry, is that I know how to I know how to alchemize that because I'm very, I, I can get angry often about small things. So I know what to do with it. And the thing about in Aries is that we only stay angry for a certain amount of time. We're not, we're not like Scorpios. We're plotting your demise. Like we took that anger and turned it into a, 10-year plan on how to ruin your life, or like Virgos. Like we're not like that. Scorpio is my moon sign, so I can be a little bit like that. Do you mean it keeps you in touch with yourself? Yes, yes, it does. I believe so. It keeps me in touch with myself, parts of myself that I think maybe I wasn't allowing to come out as much. Sometimes, like honestly, like when I do witchy hauls and I share it with you guys, I get excited some of the stuff. Like I really get like, and I'll read a book and it's really good, fiction, nonfiction, no matter what. And I'll be really excited. And that probably comes through. People have said that. I'm genuinely happy and excited. And I like that feeling. That, but if I don't imagine, so if I'm not enjoying, if I'm telling you that like those things normally bring me joy in certain books I read, and I'm not finding that lately, like I can tell it's enjoyable, but it's not like it doesn't resonate the way it normally would lately. And so the fact that the music does and all the fandom that comes with it does, let that, like that feeling is like times 100 right now for me. And I don't want to let that go. Like I have merch. Like I went Amazon for AT specifically. I went on Amazon. I got the T-shirt, um, all the different albums. I will separately buy like photo cards. I have a photo card book and any other type of merch like notebooks, like just odd things like that. Shows, I'll obviously concerts. It's not an inexpensive thing, by the way. I better be finding joy out of this. All the money I'm spending on this stuff, it better be a bang for my buck, and it is. It is. So I'm feeling very happy about that. And because I have chronic, not like the other girl syndrome, I kind of like sticking it in the face of people who think when they see someone in my age group or someone who looks like me that I shouldn't be enjoying it. I kind of like, you know, saying, "Yeah, I do." Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like I got that thing with me too, so that's part of it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I have a yeah, K-pop. I'm talking about K-pop. Again, K-pop being just the umbrella title, but there's different genres because I'm getting rock in here. I'm getting a little bit of R&B. I'm getting pop. I'm getting a little bit of hip hop as well. So far, not country. That hasn't come through resonated yet. And maybe there's an artist out here, but so far not yet. I'm getting Caribbean music. I'm getting also like Latin music as well, which I also love. So this particular, yeah, there's songs on here where they're rolling R's and everything, which I want you to think about what I just said. Native Korean speakers rolling R's. Boom. This is this is an interesting album, by the way, and I love it all. Um, yeah, so this actually has been a time for me right now to just kind of just I'm riding this wave. I'm using this energy, and I did that last night. And I transmuted this into me performing a very powerful ritual for myself last night, late last night too, where it was a full moon ritual and just kind of riding the energy that I derive from listening to this music and some of the lyrics as well. And I was able to transmute that and take that energy and use it in a very real magical sense. So, yeah, I worked with Hecate a lot last night. And one of the ways well, not one of the ways, but as of late, what I've noticed is when she comes through, versus like in a dream or if I'm lucid dreaming, like I'll get chills. Like I'll be reaching out to her, and when I know she's here, you get the goose flesh all of a sudden. That happens to me, and then I know, hey, I'm talking to her. She's here, and that happened last night, and yeah, that was a beautiful experience for me. It was fun. I like having a fun spiritual experience, and Hecate for me, I know a lot of people have this idea that she's associated with the underworld and death and cemeteries. And hey, if that's how you connect with her, hey, that's you. For me, she comes across as like a dark comedian. Like it's just sometimes serious, but one of the messages she had for me last night, like I was asking some questions about things, and she was basically let me know, and I clarified it in a oracle and then tarot as well. But she let me know, you do whatever the hell you want. Like it's all on you. Whatever you think you can do it. Basically, and this is how I love working with deities. I don't need to get their permission. I don't necessarily need them to do something to make it happen. Like I don't have like that praying to a deity and waiting for them to bless me type situation. Do you sometimes get the thoughts that you're too old for it and have to fight them off because you can listen to and dance to what you want? Yeah, I do. Do you work alone or with others normally? Um, Both. Lately, I have only been working with my coven. I notice, if I'm being honest, it's been a lot of work. Like if I do more deeper, like what I did last night, I would typically have done with my coven, where it's a little bit more extensive. The casting of the circle and all the ceremonial type magic. I would be doing that with my coven, but I did that by myself last night. So I haven't been doing it. But normally, yeah, I would be doing it by myself. But because I've been going through this emotional flux, I just have been feeling disconnected. So it felt good to get back last night. Um, and as far as the too old, I mean, I know I'm not too old because music has no age limit, right? I know that intellectually, rationally speaking, but sometimes, it's never the artists themselves who make me feel like that. It's usually, someone snide remarks. And I would like to just tell you it was just online, but I may have talked about this before, but the group I'm going to go see on Thursday night, ATs, um, not this album, but the album prior to, there's a record store I went to. I love where I like living in Arizona outside of the Phoenix area because there are record stores I can go into. But anyway, so and they're used record stores as well. So I'm hanging out with my daughter, and it's late, and they're open a little late, so it was cool because she works night shift, so she was off. And we go into the store, and she's like, "Oh, I want to. Did you want to go get these albums?" It was a couple people she wanted to get, and I wanted to get my stuff. So when we get in the store, we're together. We were talking, but then we separated because I got what I wanted, and I wanted to see. I had never been in this store before, so I'm walking around, look, and I got my albums, in my hand, and I'm walking around like this. And I'm just looking at the, stuff. I'm nowhere near her. I don't even see her in my line of vision anymore because I think she's like bent down looking for stuff. So anyway, it's a nice larger store. Um, so I say all this to say there's a younger woman and a young guy. They look 20s. I could be wrong, but they look like they were in their early 20s. And she says, and I got my album, and I'm like looking at something, and she says, and we're at the same table with all this merch and all this stuff. She's like, "Oh, did you buy that for your daughter?" And I'm because I didn't know she was talking to me. So I got my thing, and I'm like, "What?" Because I didn't understand. And I said, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, "Did you buy that for your daughter?" And I'm looking around like, "Well, where's my daughter?" Because it's not even clicking. And I said, on cue, because this is me. No, I bought it for myself. Oh, okay. And then she proceeded to say some more ageist BS stuff. And I'm like, why is this girl talking to me? Another thing, I'm out minding my business, take myself to brunch. This is here. And it's not this phone case, although this is adorable, right? Anyway, but it's another phone case where it's like cinnamon roll on it or something like that. I forgot what it was that I had for an iPhone. So I just, I have my phone down like this so you can see the phone case. And minding I took myself to brunch. I wanted to go to this restaurant. It was a beautiful day. I wanted to just chill. This hostess sits me down and says, "Oh, I love the phone case. I'm used to people noticing stuff like that." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And she said, "It's good that people of all ages can enjoy that." I almost threw that phone in her face. Um, it's not that these things bother me a lot. It's just like the audacity. That's what I like in real life. That's what I deal with. And now, a very good friend of mine said, "Mika, those are microaggressions because these were non-black folk who, in every case that I've had this, and there have been other things too, um, and they're in a interracial relationship, so they experience that probably more than I do. So I'm just thinking it's just ages, and they said it's not just ages. There are people who feel like, yes, okay, yeah, you're also older, and also as a black person, like, why are you enjoying these things? And my daughter confirmed it because she's like, first of all, she was called a hag. She's in her 20s. She was called a hag for enjoying K-pop music by other young people. And again, I say this, babe, y'all don't have money to buy these people. It's art, but they want y'all to pay them for this art, whether it's in merch, in concert. These concert tickets are hundreds of dollars. You don't have that. Your parent, and you're at the liberty of your parents. So how else do you think these artists are getting? It is the grown-ups that are paying for this because we have the money to pay for it. But yeah, I experienced that. So it's like it's not on my first mind that I'm too old, but there are people who want to remind me, and that's in person. Online, it's worse. People have this idea, and then people I know personally make comments as well, like the one that said, "Oh, so like, is this like, so you're just looking for Asian men?" I don't think there's a lot of Asian men in Arizona. I was like, looking for Asian men? Well, I know because of your K-pop stuff. I was like, you think I'm searching for Asian men because I listen to this music and because I'm over here telling you I've gone through various things, and certain songs have like reached my and helped heal my heart. And, and you got from that I'm looking to find Asian men. Oh no, people of all ages. Yeah, I had that when I bought the new Stitch Lego set. I know that's a thing too. Yeah. And they asked if I wanted to wrap it for a baby girl. Just call me man and give me a Lego set. Thank you. That's where I'm at. It's like, first of all, this girl didn't even work at this store. Of course, when I told my daughter about this, she is also an Aries person. And she said in the store with the girl who was like, "Oh, are you buying that for your daughter?" Afterwards, we link up in the store and I told her what happened. She was like, we should have messed with her. And I should have walked up and been like, "Hun, are you ready to go, honey?" Or something like that. And be like, make it seem like we were um, together. Cause we don't really look alike to me. And I was like, only our minds would think to do that. Like only we would think to do this. Because I explained that to somebody else, and I was like, "Well, wait, why would you do that?" And I was like, "Because we're weirdos. The guy raised a weirdo. We would do that. We would just act out and make the person even more comfortable. So now you'll think I'm her sugar mama instead." I love where I'm at. And I feel like as a gift to me, these artists have you said that's the perfect reaction. These artists, this I noticed that they've been doing a thing where they're doing like a summer cactus Arizona background. So it's like it looks like the desert, like a desert background. And that is so fitting for me and where I am. So when I saw this, I felt like this was for me. I felt like, oh, they did this photo shoot for me. Another thing I like is that you get all of this like cool art, like this little. Oh, by the way, I'll rip up the books and take them out and put them in my planners because I can buy more. I don't care. Anyway, but like you see the background, like with the cactus and it's like this summer scene, like that's what I'm talking about. I love it all. I love it all. I'm also someone who likes a kit. So opening up the packaging, going through it, I watch unboxings. I like that sort of stuff. My daughter and I will sit here and you would think it's recorded the way we're unboxing our stuff. We're just like this. And like in real life, we are just like, okay. And we carefully take it out. And we have like music playing in the background. We're showing things. So you would think I'm filming it. It's just for her, she and I. And we just like carefully go through everything and, put everything back in the box and do it like that. We are collectors over here. I like collecting things. I like more than one of a certain thing. So this fits the bill for me. But I more or less want to talk about this from the point of how it's making me feel, not just like, oh, you should listen to K-pop. I mean, you should, but it's more about how it makes me feel and how that translated. And for me, with all the weird energy of the week, how I was able to just sort of transmute that into a powerful ritual for myself because your emotions do matter in witchcraft. Um, there's no such thing as putting your emotions to the side because it influences everything that you're doing. If you are shaky and scared and you're casting spells, and this is from someone who used to be terrified and shaky and scared all the time, I cast spells like I'm halfway afraid. What if it actually works? And that for some reason was scary. I was the Christian holdover stuff. So I was afraid if it worked. I was afraid if it didn't work, and that means it's not real. And I just wasted my time and energy and possibly money. And I was just like always on the edge of just being a little fearful, which that gets tiring. And I was able to release that over the years, gratefully. But in the beginning, I remember being afraid. I remember being scared about stuff. So, yeah, once I was, able to do that, I feel like I came into my own, definitely as a witch more so, and I became a better reader and more intuitive. But anyway, yeah, I was able to really have a very powerful ritual that I think I will remember for quite some time. I think it's like one of those rituals that has forever changed. Like I've turned the page on something, and I can't tell. I don't know specifically what just yet, but I know. I feel like yeah, something new has happened, And I felt it when I got up this morning, just the shift in my perspective naturally, not even like forced, not because I thought about it and said, oh, remember, I'm going to be thinking like this now. No, it was just naturally I woke up like that. So, yeah, yeah. So, and K-pop was behind that. um, One of the things I did in a ritual, this is where the review part of this comes into play, is these cards, Green Witch's Oracle deck. So on my other channel, I did a haul and I talked about these cards. So these have been used. I cleansed these cards last night in ritual, and then I went ahead and used them. These are beautiful cards, but I kind of wanted to give them a full conversation. So they are absolutely stunning. I love the artwork on the cards, and I like the energy I'm getting from them. So, for instance, we have here Earthworm. It says here clarity, rumination. And these, like the messages, and they're thick too, by the way. I like this. Um, I like cards that are not flimsy. One, they're not going to get bent. And then once cards get bent, which I've experienced, and you're shuffling and using, it's hard to just have an authentic read because that card, you always see the card, with your, and you can feel it and it might not, it always pops out. So is that really the message or is the card bent, So that's why I like a thicker card. Cup of tea, patience, and reassessment. And I like the messaging. I love the messaging and I love all the details. Like it's simple but detailed. For me as a cottage witch, and these are, geared toward green witch, which is in my wheelhouse as well. This makes sense. Basil, prosperity, luck, love. One of the cards I pulled, and I'll share with you, was mint. I can see if I can find it. If not, I'll just look in the book. I pulled this mint card, and when I first here it is. I first looked at the card and I thought mint, and I thought kind of what I thought about basil, prosperity. It even says abundance, and then persistence, proliferation. Those are the keywords for this card. So I'll share with you a little bit about the message that I got last night about this. So it wasn't so much because I saw prosperity and I kind of just was like, ooh, prosperity. And I was like, wait, that doesn't fit what I'm not talking about, or does it? And I kind of sat there, and this is why the ritual took so long, because a lot of this was just me reflecting as well. But and I did pull another card, but then I said, okay, because I haven't used this before. Ooh, I pulled, as I dropped the book. I did look in the book because I was curious. I was like, my intuition told me we're not just talking about just that, like that's on a surface, like dig a little deeper, Mika. And I'm glad I did, because I'm going to tell you what it is. And now that I understand that, I look at these cards differently. But let me just tell you. So again, the keywords are abundance, persistence, proliferation. Card meaning. The mint card speaks of deep roots, firm groundings, and a refusal to give in. The tenacity of the mint herb can be the despair of many a gardener, but its abundance can also be an encouraging omen. Life's obstacles can be frustrating, but mint reminds you that stubbornness can get you through. Consider your current situation. Someone may be trying to uproot you or remove you from something you've been passionate about. Don't let them. Make your own decisions and don't let someone else steal your agency. Dig in and be strong. Stubbornness isn't necessarily a negative trait. And then there's a reflection question. It says, are there unfair limitations being imposed on you by someone or something? Something. So I literally just shared the feelings of disconnect, apathy, and so forth. And my tenacity and stubbornness of not giving in completely to that, not just becoming, a mean old crone, not willingly going, or just letting it happen, and my stubbornness to pull those pieces of myself that I feel like just are adrift, and kind of pulling that back in. And even if it doesn't fit like it did, I'm still me, whole me. That's what it was representing. that was the message for me. Um, and circumstance, not necessarily, it's not about someone, but kind of, anyway, kind of, people in my life or persons in my life, and even not because they're evil and they're trying to do something, but like, even your kids, like once you get your adult kids, and you're trying to show up for them still, and if you're not careful, you kind of put your own stuff on the back burner. So it's like, yeah, that's the whole thing. I know, I guess that's the whole thing. But like, yeah, like I was okay. I'll just say it. So I was talking about, and I don't know. I'll see how this goes. So I'm saying it, but I'll see. My son is in the military. He'll be out next year. He is a grown up person. He's been living on his own. He doesn't live like in a dorm. He has his own spot where he's at, and he's been having it for the past couple of years. So he's used to be living on his own. Um, However, I am a smart lady and I know what's happening in the world. And I have told my adult children, hey, we should really be together, get a big space and set up your life. If you want to have, people over and do your thing, if you have a big enough place with multiple living spaces, you can do that. Like, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. But like I am like I also have my own life. Let me just be very clear. So I want to be able to have my space where I do my stuff. And if I have people come over, I don't want people in my business. So it's both ways. It's not just one sided. Um, and I thought a lot about moving, and they that my we're not all together on this topic. Some people are like, yeah, but I don't want to move. Other one is like, yeah, I don't want to commit. And I'm like, what it's just up in the air. We don't know. I mean, and I have until next year, so it's not like anything has to be decided. But I don't. I've told you guys I love where I live. I manifested this home. I love it, and I don't necessarily want to leave it. Like, I feel like I haven't done enough. Like, the fact that these walls are still this color. I'm someone who paints, and I haven't done that yet. I have wallpaper on another wall, but I feel like I haven't done all the things, and I want to do more of the things here. So I really actually don't want to leave, and I want to dig in. If you know mint, people gardeners tell you don't plant mint like with your other stuff because it will take over, it will root in, and I kind of and it's not necessarily a bad thing because mint has wonderful uses, right? And I kind of want to be the mint, and I kind of want to dig in and root myself. Uh, I moved a lot, and my kids, we moved. I homeschooled them. We moved so much, so we moved a lot, and I don't want to do that. So this had a lot of different meanings to it based on what I was talking about. Because like when I was in this ritual, I was more like in a dialogue, and I would wait for messages. And then if I needed more clarifications about what I thought I was hearing or seeing, I would pull cards. So that's how it looks for me. And then actually now the other card I did pull was the sun, which made me so happy. Like, you want to have the feeling of home. Yes, yes. And I feel home here. I'm making this my home. I'm looking out my backyard and I'm like, oh, I haven't done all the things yet. Um, I use the term yard loosely, by the way. It isn't that there is no grass. There's no grass here. Anyway, it's just little rocks. But anyway, um, but I'm looking out the window and I'm like, there's still stuff I want to do. I am not finished here. I like it here. And yeah, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. So, and yeah, when I got the sun, it's the sun here in this deck, by the way, is healing energy, happiness, comfort, joy. Like, that made sense to me. And when I got like this lets me know, this gave me that insight as well. When I pulled these cards together. And I took pictures of these readings. I'm gonna put it in my book as well. Listen to how I feel, right? But the mama in me wants to like figure it out for everybody and make it so that everybody's comfortable and they don't have to feel broke. They don't have to feel what a lot of young adults are feeling right now, where you're working and you never see your money, and I'm just trying to find solutions, and I'm like, my comfort and my joy matters too. So I needed the reminder. And of all the goddesses to tell me, Hecate would be the one. It was like, uh-uh, we we are still doing our stuff. We're still out here, going into a new chapter of our badass witch phase. Why are we, doing that right now? We don't need to do that. Let them figure it out within reason. Also, these people didn't ask you to do anything for them, so you don't have to figure it out. Like, let them figure it out. So that's kind of where I'm at too. Did I know this? Yes, but sometimes I think the way I like to sometimes see how tarot oracle readings works is that it's not always that they're telling you something you didn't know. Sometimes, yes, but other times it's forcing you to pull back the blanket, pull the wool that you have over your eyes, and kind of really look at a situation for what it is. And the cards can help you with that. And it's more psychological, more so than mystical. At least for myself, a lot of times, and also in readings for others as well. A lot of times, it's just confirming what you deep down already know, and you don't want to admit out loud, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics, whether it's with your partner or children, your work. You already know. You literally just paying me to reinforce we already know. And sometimes, and that's not a waste, because sometimes, and even for myself, if when I reach out and get a reading for myself, I could do it for myself, and I understand that. But sometimes just hearing someone else say it is so powerful, and it could be enough for you to do what you need to do about the situation, right? Like, you just need somebody else to say it. You were thinking it, you deep down knew in your heart of hearts, but you needed somebody else to tell you. You needed somebody else to sense it, because then it becomes valid. They validated it for you. It became more real, and now you can move forward. Right? Is that not, And of course, there's other type of readings where it's the stuff you had no idea. You had no idea that you were not thinking these things. Spirit just came through and just blew your whole world up. Those things happen as well. Um, I am in the midst of still reading some books. I don't have my iPad near me, but I'm reading this one book called Hoodoo Something. It's fiction, and I thought it was about hoodoo when I got it. It's a series. Let me see if I can find it. But it's actually the name of the town is called Hoodoo, and I was like, huh. Somehow I missed that. I didn't, but it's an enjoyable read, and it's fun. And Return to Hoodoo by Reggie Dupree. And I am just having a nice little time reading this book. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's I'm only on chapter 7. It is taking me crazy amount of time to read it, but I'm not beating myself up about that, because we don't do that anymore. It says Boudin Barbecue and Hoodoo. This is book 1. If you're curious, it's a Kindle book. So I'm reading this, and it's one of my on my summer list of things to read, and I'm still getting to this one. I got to finish this one before I can start this. I didn't start it yet. I'm reading just to give you guys an idea of what I'm up to. I need to vote. um, I got this a while, but I'll be reading this with my coven. So this is our next book. Yeah, I can't wait to read this. Like, with them. I started it, but I'm gonna read with them, so I'm starting from the beginning. So it's cool. I finished this one, same author, Gabby Hersteck. We just finished this one. We took our time with it. I highly recommend reading this book if you are wanting to work with goddess. Don't worry about which goddess. If you just feel like, oh, I don't really have a lot of that in my practice, like with goddess worker, this is a great book to help. Awakening the divine feminine through myth and magic. Excellent book. I love that at the end, and if for this to work for you, you're going to want to do the things at the end of each chapter. So this is a book that I finished reading, and I have grimoire pages I set up from that. And there's like tarot spreads and all that sort of stuff, affirmations that I will be using indefinitely from that book. And then the other book on my summer list, which I talk about on my other channel, is this one. This is just recently Wolf Going Wild. This is fiction. So yeah, I got it. Oh, duh, and this. A tea witch's grimoire, magical recipes for your tea time. So I plan on, because I want to bring some more tea stuff in my repertoire. So yeah, these are like on my list of things. So I've got good music. I have books. I wanted a good mystery book, and I wanted to break away um, from what I had been reading because it got repetitive. Paranormal women's fiction, but like with like a murder mystery part in it as well. And I love that. And that has been really kind of my jam for some time. And then I kind of just like it was the same story over and over and over again, different location, but the same story. And I just got bored with that whole genre a little bit. And I'm just taking a break from it. So imagine me seeing this in this bookstore, or actually Amazon. I got this. I was like, well, we'll look into that one. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't read about a werewolf in a while. Why not? So I want to do that. And then this hoodoo book also has a black main character as well, and it's like a mix. Everybody in the town is a mix. It's not just like it's that, but she's black. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to read about that. I've always wanted to read that, but I'm intentional about it now. I want to mix it up. So that's on my summer reading list. I want to get through these books. Return to Hoodoo. I've enjoyed the book, but it is taking me longer than usual to read this book. And I don't even have a solid explanation other than, I don't know. I told you I'm going through some stuff. Um, yeah, but this planner right here with the green tab rings on it, this is my goals planner. And what I've done, I used to feel bad because what I do is I decorate all the pages at the beginning of the week, like over the weekend, like between today and tomorrow, I'll decorate for next week, right? And I'll do a theme for each day. And the intention of that book is for me to work on each of my goals, do some sort of activity each day toward my goals. And there's like most of all this week, I just put reset day, meaning I just reset that day. I didn't say do nothing. I call it a reset day because I don't want to feel bad that I didn't work toward a certain goal. And I don't like how that makes me feel. So that's been a shift in me too, is like just acknowledging I am not a productivity machine. I am a person and I can't keep, at least for now, I'm just I'm not. And also I feel like with the summer heat, I really just want to chill most nights and most days. I don't want to be, running. And when I do it comes in spurts. Like when I'm done here, I'm putting up Halloween decorations. I have some stuff laid out. I'm gonna go into my garage and grab as much as I can because it's gonna be hot as balls when I go out there. I'm gonna make a quick grab and just grab. I think I got about 2 or 3 bins of stuff, and grab those and just bring those inside and sort them and see how I want to hang things up. But yeah, I'm going Summerween all the way, and they will be up. I'm not taking them down. It's gonna be Halloween now. It's just gonna be Halloween now. Cause why not? I tell people this, and I tell myself this. Who's stopping us? I mean, I have Halloween they all look. I got Halloween decorations up year round. It's just decor now. But I'll have more things that actually like say Halloween, like spooky season. I'm here for all of it. I remember the year before I wanted to put my stuff up kind of early then, and I said I'll wait till August because I was like, oh, that's too much. I don't want to do too much. Now outside, I can't put my Halloween decorations up outside because some things would melt. I have faux flowers out and some of them have melted. because it is um, an oven outside, and there are days with the sun just on my front porch where it's taking that direct sun. I know it can get probably a smooth 120 if I was to put a thermometer just like right in that space. Um, so yeah, it's melted some of the plastic. Not everything. The faux plants that I have, like I have a faux snake plant, those are holding up, but it's the Dollar Tree stuff. It was like these like green like shoots or something. It melted. It melted some of it. So yeah, yeah, you got to be careful here. So there is absolutely no way I'm going to put. And if it's not melting something, it's going to bleach it. So if you put like a signage, like you put those picks, you put it in the ground, and it's like Halloween signs and stuff like that. It's something that's all black, like seat cushions or pillows. The sun will bleach it. So it'll be gray by the time it's actually time for October. So I cannot put anything outside just yet. Um, so that I will have to wait for. I picked this place. I tell myself that. Nika, you picked this place. You could have lived it. You could have lived any place else. You chose this. And I literally chose to live here. So I can't complain. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap up for now. This was a fun witchy chat where I got to talk a lot about just sharing a little bit more about myself with you guys and where I'm at now, and especially like the K-pop stuff. So if you follow Leap Taken on Instagram later next week, I will definitely be sharing the concert stuff and probably on TikTok as well. Leap Taken's on TikTok as well. Not like I don't post a lot. And I'm like, happy. It's whatever. I have no rhyme or reason yet. But that's where I'll share. I might do shorts here. I haven't really gotten to YouTube shorts, but maybe I'll give it a try from stuff from the concert. But yeah, I will be sharing that because now that I've had this frank discussion on um, how it's about the music, the fandom, yes, the idols themselves, certain personalities that I resonate with, the parasocial relationships with them. And yes, some of them were really good looking. I'm not gonna lie to you. All of that, but how that puts me at a certain vibration, right? And because I'm struggling with all the other things that would put me there, or to naturally put myself there, I this is so important to me right now because I haven't been able to feel this level of any emotion in like this in a minute. And I'm just happy I feel something. I'm happy to be feeling something. So I don't want this to go away. And I have a concert I'm going to, so I'm gonna have a good time with that as well. And may I not experience any of that nonsense of the microaggressions or just, meanies. May I not experience it. I have no intention on bringing that kind of like energy into it. I'm going to go and we're going to have a good time. But yeah, I really hope nobody says or does anything to me or says it or looks at me crazy or makes a comment because that won't go well. That won't go well. One, there's me, but because I am vocal about how I feel about things, my daughter's coming with me, and I'm already a bit of a spitfire. Don't and you would never see it coming because she has such a sweet face, so people just assume they can say wild stuff to her, and then they learn that she is not actually that person you want to do that to. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. I think the takeaway for me this week, and hopefully you're kind of open to this as well, is transmute. Transmute all of this. Our politics, everything. It doesn't mean you're not paying attention and you're not involved, but whatever it is that you're feeling, especially if it's not the best of feelings, maybe transmute that into something else. And only you know what you can transmute that to. Yeah, that's the takeaway. That's been my takeaway this week as well, is to transmute that energy that is, making me feel not so great. All right, so thank y'all for watching. I hope everybody enjoys their day. Have a magical day, and I will make a decision on if I'm going to drive 42 minutes to go buy some K-pop stuff. All right, bye. Like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. All right, bye.